Howdy folks, Hillbilly here, out on our final adventure for the year. It's December 23rd, just a couple days before Christmas. I'm on Christmas vacation from work, so I figured we'd come out here and do a nice little day hike just to end the year properly. Got Osha and Kaylee and Chris and his son Anthony with us today, so a nice little group together for this hike. We're doing about 11.5 miles. We're down here. I started at Manassas Gap. We're going to hike on over to Ashby Gap through Sky Meadows State Park and some other nice little spots. So nice, easy section of trail. It's supposed to be a beautiful day today. I think it's supposed to get up to around 50. So yeah, out here enjoying the great weather just before the holidays, and figured we'd close off the year right on the channel here. Don't fall.
Oh God. Sturdy log.
That's why I film these water crossings, in case somebody falls. Got it. Alright folks, just got to the Manassas Gap shelter area here. I actually walked down to the shelter there, but there's a pretty large group of day hikers, down there having lunch, so I figured I'd let them have the area and do what they need to do. And I came back up here to a little camp spot along the Blue Blaze Trail, sit down and have lunch. Not really lunch, probably sit down and have a little snack. Wait for Osha and Kaylee to catch up, regroup, and keep going. But yeah, we're about 2.5 miles into the day, not far. It's still a beautiful day. I had to come out of all my layers, just down to my base layer now. It is quite nice for just being 2 days before Christmas, so I'll take this every day. But anyway, yeah, just chugging along. Glad we can get in one more hike before the end of the year here. It's been a great year on the trail. I don't know if for those of you who've been following me along, or following along with me this year, got a lot of miles in. We got 2 big 100-mile AT sections done. We got dolly sods. I actually went there a handful of times. I didn't film every time. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we got plenty more coming up. I'm gearing up for a big hike at the end of this winter, beginning of spring. Probably the last weekend of March is when I'll start, but be heading down to Georgia to do that. So anyway, yeah, just taking a little breather before we keep on going. Alright, so we made a wrong turn leaving the shelter. So now, with the guidance of my GPS, we are bushwhacking back to the trail. It is what it is. Just adds to the adventure, right? But yeah, rather than going all the way back to the shelter, we can just cut through this patch of woods and just skip right over to the trail. Good times. Alright, back on trail. No biggie. Good old gut hooks got us right back on track again. Freight train, that's your name.
There you go.
Smoking, going down the trail. Still chugging along. We got probably about 1.5 miles to the Whiskey Hollow shelter. We're gonna stop and have some lunch there. We're guess right a little over 5 miles into the hike right now. Clouds are starting to move in a little bit, but I think we still got a while before the rain comes, so no biggie. Alright, coming up on the Whiskey Hollow shelter here, which is I think it's a brand new shelter. Last time I hiked through here, there was just the old Dick's Dome shelter located about 100 yards down the creek from here, or up the creek. So this wasn't here last time I was here. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Yeah, we're going to stop here, take a little lunch. Kaylee and Osha are a little ways behind, so we'll let them catch up. Clouds are still moving in. Hopefully the rain holds out till we're gone.
Looking at some Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. Yee yee. Ha ha.
Word mustard.
Alright folks, just left the Whiskey Hollow shelter back there just a little ways, maybe a mile or so at the most. And we are headed up to Sky Meadows State Park here in Northern Virginia. So we'll get a little bit of change of scenery here pretty shortly as we walk through the meadows that are around Sky Meadows. But it's a nice area. Like I said, I hiked through here before many years ago. One of my very first AT sections I ever did. Yeah, meadows are coming up. Oh, still making our way along here to Sky Meadows State Park. Just walking along thinking about how awesome of a year it's been for hiking. For me personally, definitely put in more miles this year than I have ever in one year. I did a 105-mile hike. I did a 110-mile hike. Done a bunch of day hikes. Like I said earlier, dolly sods a handful of times. So we put in some decent miles this year. I'm really happy about that. My goal this year was to do between 200 and 300 AT miles. So we ended up at, I don't know, around 250, I think. So that's awesome. I'm really happy with it. I was able to enjoy pretty good weather this year. Didn't really have to put up with much. I did have some heat early in the year in Pennsylvania that knocked me and Paul off a trail from some pretty rough heat exhaustion. Me and Osha had a little bit of rain in Pennsylvania back in September, but nothing that really deterred us much. We took a 0 day due to the remnants of a hurricane coming through, but I don't know, just a lot of good memories made on trail this year. Met a lot of cool people. I got to hike with a handful of people for the first time, including Rodney, Paul, Chris. You know, we've, of course, Kara's come out with us this year. Osha's been out a few times with us. Anyway, I was just thinking on it walking along here. You know how it is when you hike, you get to thinking. And it was a fantastic year for hiking. Went over the 1,000 subscriber mark on the channel this year, which is awesome. Really appreciate that. And of course I owe all of that to you guys. So those of you who follow me and watch all my videos, I really appreciate it. And all those that have just joined or just found the channel, I appreciate y'all too. But anyway, I'm gonna quit blabbering. We're still walking along here. It's just a short distance farther to the meadows of Sky Meadows State Park. Alright, it's getting over here 4/10 of a mile off trail. Actually walked through a meadow on the Ambassador White House Trail. Here at the Paris View. Quite beautiful. Figured we read on Gut Hook it was a nice easy little walk over here, even though it was 4/10 of a mile, so we went ahead and came over. Get at least one good solid view on this trip. Pretty nice. Alright, just linking back up with the AT here. Just have, I think 1.8 miles left back to the car, so day's coming to an end. I think it's all downhill here too. Nice long gradual downhill back to the gap. But yep, it's been a great day. Sad to see the last hike of the year come to an end, but I'm gonna enjoy these last 2 miles for all they're worth. Alright, this is the end of the line here. Well, almost. Just got here to Route 50. Pretty busy road. Actually, I should probably go ahead and get across while I got a chance. Yeah, pretty busy double lane highway here. I'm lucky to be crossing it when there's basically nobody coming. Yeah, just a couple more tents back to the car over here. Man, great close 2018. Like I said, I appreciate all y'all that follow me, continuing to follow me. That's why I make these videos. We got a big 2019 in store for us coming up. Plan to do basically the same thing I did this year. 2 big 100-mile hikes with some smaller ones kind of sprinkled in between. Of course, we'll go back to Dolly Sods again this year. Cross this road here real quick so I don't get hit. Alright. But anyway, it's basically the same plans for next year. 2 big 100-mile hikes. First one being, I got a schedule to head out on March 29th for that hike. Should stay on track for that. We'll be doing the state of Georgia if everything goes as planned. From actually including the approach trail. Starting in Amicalola Falls and hiking north to Deep Gap, North Carolina, just across the state line. And then at the end of summer next year, we'll go somewhere else for a big one. I'm not sure where that'll be. But anyway, just keep going, almost back to the car. Alright folks, just got to the Blue Blaze Trail here up to the parking lot. You can see the cars parked up there, so this is officially the end of the line. Another great hike, another one in the books. It's nice to come back and revisit this section. It's been many years since I've been here. It was cool to see a couple things that weren't there last time. Shelter wasn't there last time, and the view that we went off trail to go see, I didn't know about that last time either. So I got to see a couple things new on this section, and it's cool. Weather held out, it was great. Definitely not going to rain anytime soon. Clouds are still high and thin, so rain held out. Beautiful weather. Got a gear video coming up. Honestly, it's not going to be much different than last year's gear video. I haven't changed much besides a couple pieces of clothing. The puffy jacket I'm wearing is new. Mountain Hardwear Metatherm, by the way. But yeah, so I'll be putting that together soon, and be gearing up for the big hike coming up. So stay tuned for more content. There'll still be some more stuff between now and then. And as always, appreciate you following along on Hillbilly Hikes. We'll see you next time.